When we look down diagonally at the ball, is that we think the middle of the putter is actually more toe side. I would like you to feel like you're maybe about 1/4 of an inch in the heel of the putter with your setup.
That was different.
Different feel on the strike?
Yeah, it popped off a little bit more.
Okay.
Apparently, I've never felt what the center feels like.
That's the sweet spot.
That's what it is.
Okay, guys, welcome back. So we've made our way over to the putting studio. This is going to be a fun one because we've taken a dive through your golf bag. I now know some of your preferences, some of your likes and dislikes, but this is one that as soon as I saw your head covers this morning, I'm kind of rummaging through your bag, I got curious about your putter. So tell me a little bit about kind of how did this one end up in the bag?
Yeah, so I've worked with Swag for a while, and I love their head covers, and I really love their putters. Most people don't know that they make these amazing one-of-one putters, and that's kind of really how it started. And luckily now you can get Swag putters at Club Champion. It's the only place that you can actually get Swag putters. So definitely go check it out. So this one's interesting though, because I was playing the Handsome one before, and it was pretty much set as it was. And I found this one at their headquarters in Chicago, and I said, I need it. Yeah. I don't care if it's fit for me. I just want this putter because it looks so cool, and it's a prototype. And they were like, we're not sure if you'll even be able to play with it because it is so bright and like the reflection from the sun. I was like, I don't care. I actually putt quite well with this, but it's not a style of putter that I normally play with. So I'm interested to see if it actually is fit for me, because I do putt quite well with it, and we have seen this with putters where it might not be the best putter that's fit for you, but you can still figure it out because you have confidence in it, and we know, it's all about confidence when it comes to putting. But if you can combine that with a putter that's fit for you, then you're unstoppable. So I'm interested to see, because again, this has a lot of toe hang, and I usually don't play a putter that has this much toe hang. And I tend to hit it a little bit kind of slicey and off the toe.
So, I mean, I think to talking about preferences versus sort of data, what works in the bay, I think that's one of the reasons. Again, we say it in every part of club fitting, you have to work with a club fitter to work your way through these things, because this, obviously, you were drawn to this putter, right? You were clearly drawn to it. The look of it is absolutely gorgeous. It's totally unique in its finish. But what we're kind of here to do is it hindering your game? Is it helping your game? Can we change it? We took the specs, so it's a little bit flat, 2 degrees flat, and it's at 2 degrees aloft. So spec-wise, it's good. It's a little bit on the shorter side. So we're going to just run through. I mean, it's very different from any of the 4 models that we offer at Club Champion. We do have 4 different styles. We have putters that are very conventional, Paige, and obviously in the toe hang, we have ones that have more toe hang, and we have one that's face balanced. So yours is on the more toe hang end, like you said. So yeah, let's hole a few putts hopefully, but let's roll a few putts and let's see if this is the one, or whether we need to get that finish on one of these other ones, because it's actually what works best for your game.
Let's do it.
Okay, Paige. So I'm going to be honest with you. I am a rookie on the SAM Puttlab system. We have our own system. We use it in our stores. One of the things I absolutely love about it, I actually done my first session on this system about a month and a half ago at our Glasgow store in Scotland. One of the things I love about this is it's going to ask you now to hit 7 putts and just do your thing, right? Go through your routine, and then at the end of it, it's going to give us some recommendations on the style of putter, our rate of rotation, centeredness of contact, and all these things. So you've probably been through more of these than me on this particular system. So let's hit 7, see what we see. Love it.
I tend to putt a lot better on really fast greens as well. I struggle on slower greens.
Very good. Very, very good. Okay, a couple more. Excellent. In terms of the rest of your game, where would you sort of rank your putting?
I would say it's probably second, next to my short game as being the best.
One take, Paige. Turn the camera on. Maybe that's what it is. You just need, in your college career, you just need all the cameras
on me at all
you.
times. Yeah, not narcissistic at all.
Yeah, really, really good.
My miss is right,
Okay.
if anything.
Love it, love it. Okay, so we've obviously got some recommendations here. The recommendation is towards maybe less in the toe hang side of things, right? So that's not the best news we were looking for. Blade stroke mallet is kind of what it's saying. So yeah, I mean, you've got a decent amount of arc, obviously, to your stroke. And obviously the rate of rotation is a little on the high side. Okay, so when we look at rotation relative to the path, it's looking for something a little bit more face balance, 230. So it's giving you a range, Paige. So something that's kind of in this realm, so something from sort of here to kind of here is what it's recommended right now. One of the things as a fitter, though, I think we always have to be mindful of is this is a very controlled environment, very, maybe less so in here, but our putter studio that we work up in Toronto is a very linear environment. The golf course is not linear at all. So sometimes if you have a high rate of rotation, but your tendencies might be to aim a little bit on the right-hand side, two wrongs can somewhat make a right in that when it comes to putting, and it can be a little bit different than some of the other parts of the bag. As we go through, again, I want to look at contact. Yeah, like we said, we do have a little bit of a rightward aim. It's quite interesting to watch you because obviously our system can measure your aim in real time. So you set yourself up, you're very, very square, and right at the last minute, you make one little adjustment and it aims you a little bit more to the right. So it's very, very sort of interesting to watch people's kind of quirks when it comes to putting. You have a nice sort of 3.5 degree upward angle of attack. We like that because it gives us forward rotation, right? So one of the things when it comes to distance control is we like a nice amount of forward rotation to make sure we're not fighting the forward momentum of the golf ball.
Yeah.
We know that different green speeds, we're going to need more rotation than others. If the green is nice and quick, we don't really need that much forward rotation. But when we get on slower greens, we definitely need that forward rotation. You said you like fast greens.
Love fast greens.
Okay, so there's always little clues as to what we need to do with the loft in order to kind of get you to play better on all sort of conditions. So when you're on fast conditions, you're an autopilot with the putter. It's just obviously hit and hit towards the target. This is where I wanted to kind of have a look. Paige, this is something that is like, this is something, if we can go back to the swag guys, right? Your pool is bigger than mine. If we can get them to work on an alignment that gets players to think that the middle of the putter is actually in the heel, because everyone hits their putts in the toe. If I was to give you 100 people that lined up, I don't think I would give you one that hit putts in the heel of the putter. Some would hit it centered.
That's insane.
It's crazy.
I'm consistently
You're
bad,
very
but
consistent. So we talk about a lot in fitting compounding, right? We can have a slight left miss and a slight toe strike. We're good. We can't have a slight toe strike and a slight right aim. That's why, to you, like you said, your miss might be on the right-hand side. So another reason probably wants us to go with a little bit more of that mallet style is because we do have a little bit of that toe strike in there as well. I'd like to do the test again, making you sort of aware of where the sweet spot in the putter is relative to what the eye sort of tells you the middle of the putter is. One of the things when we look down diagonally at the ball, our viewpoint is that we think the middle of the putter is actually more toe side than it actually is. So what I say to people all the time is, like, I would like you to feel like you're maybe about 1/4 of an inch in the heel of the putter with your setup. And one of the things that we chatted about when we done your what's in the bag, and you're sort of working with Stan Utley and how you used to have you be a bit more handsy and inside, feeling like your draws.
Do that more.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I just want to watch down the line on these ones. Good. Excellent. So first one looked like we still got a little bit at the toe, Paige, but the second one looked much better.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was different.
Different feel on the strike?
Yeah, it popped off a little bit more.
Okay.
Apparently, I've never felt what the center feels like.
That's the sweet spot.
That's what it is.
Nice.
Yeah,
Last one.
that was off the toe.
Interesting.
It was all over the place.
So I think there's a few things at play here. So the putter is 2 degrees flat.
Yeah.
The recommendation is that we want to go back probably to 70, which I definitely agree with. So if we've got the putter a little bit toe down, we need to bring that back up a little bit and bring that strike back towards the middle. Yeah, I definitely think we need to get out of this style. I know it's devastating to hear. It's devastating.
Okay.
But she can stay in the office and look pretty and all that sort of stuff. But
Yeah.
Or we get you another one that looks just like that. But I definitely think something, Paige, that has a lot more stability to it
Yeah,
is what we
okay.
need to get you into. So I do think, and was this the style that you tried before?
The other one, that was more
So you were in Handsome
one.
1? Okay, so I mean, every company has a version of this. This is as standard of a blade as we possibly get. Still has a little bit of that toe hang to it. Okay, let's just hit some putts. Okay, we're just going to kind of go into a little bit more of the sort of non-scientific part of the fitting now. Let's just roll a few, see what you react well with. Paige, when you go to a longer putter, how does the length of this feel? Is it way too long?
It feels a little bit too long.
Okay.
I feel a little.
If your hands were going to go and find like,
I'm at the bottom of the grip.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Let's switch you into number 1. Cue.
This one feels the best to me.
You feel you're getting most sort of energy out of this one on the strike?
Yeah, I feel like I can actually do the putting stroke that feels more natural to me, that
Yeah.
has a little bit more lag in it. With the other one, I don't know what it was, but I really couldn't quite get that lag to it the way that I'm. And it might be because it's longer too.
I think as well, you know, when we talk about like toe hang and obviously lots of different terms, but toe flow, ultimately what we're saying is that we're asking for the putter face and the shaft to sort of have a different relationship to one another. Effectively, it's torque, right? So if we have toe hang on there, we are basically saying we want that club head, which is the dominant mass, it's way heavier in the shaft. We want that to sort of create a different amount of torque and rotation. For someone, and it's so interesting to hear you say that. I've heard really good putters talk about lag in the stroke, especially maybe not so much putters nowadays, but maybe older school, that type of term. When you feel that lag, what you're kind of buying a putter with toe hang the time to do is just to do a little bit of that, right? And you can feel that, whereas this, you don't feel that because there is no force against the shaft in that sense. It's perfectly balanced. So, okay, let's roll a few with that one. Love it. Okay, let me just adjust the loft and lie. Okay, Paige, so we've made a couple of little changes. Okay, so we're back into the Handsome 1. We've made a little adjustment to the length, so we'll put some tape in there. We've kind of improvised a little bit with the length of it. I do think 33 is the right length for you. I've taken a little bit of loft off the putter down to 2.5, and at 70 degrees lie angle, which is a little more upright than yours was. So
Okay.
let's roll a few with this one. Good, very good. I just want to kind of scoot right over here to really what it is that we're kind of trying to establish here.
Ah.
Can we get it more centered? Okay, really good job. Paige, amazing job on the centerness. It really wasn't until sort of the last couple, we lost a couple in the toe with that, but that is a world of difference.
Yeah,
right?
massive difference.
Amazing. So not only do you have a much higher MOI putter in this one, you have a much more centered contact. So again, back to compounding, we've got two things that are really going to work in your favor with that. Interestingly, because we are going a little bit shorter in the length of this putter, we actually need to go up another little degree in lie angle, which is fine. It's still coming in a touch toe down. Rotation consistency is consistent, and the amount of rotation was not quite as consistent. One of the things with SAM, and you can see when you're hitting your putts, it kind of gives us the red and green for aim.
Yeah.
You were phenomenal for the first 5, maybe 4 or 5 putts, and then the last 2 or 3 putts were aimed quite a bit left. So our alignment really will dictate the rate of rotation, because as the athlete insiders will know where we're aiming, we have to either do a little bit of that or close it. So I think that's more of, rather than the putter's not rotating at the right amount, I think it's a little bit of alignment. Okay, so we're still got interesting. So it's now telling us that actually wants you in a little bit more loft. So it's all these little changes we're making are kind of, making some adjustments. We've got 2.5 degrees of loft on this. The reason it wants you to play more loft is this putter's actually made you add some shaft lean. So you're now adding you're de-lofting about 2 degrees of loft in the putter. So there's the aiming part we talked about, right? So that is something in the putter fit though. You know, we've got obviously lines, we've got dots that we can use, but also I'd be saying to you, if we were working through a full session, okay, come behind your putt. Do you use aim point or anything like that?
No.
You just kind of use your feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say your routine would be the key to your aim.
Yeah, agreed.
Your aim was perfect on sort of this putter. It was really, really consistent, really, really solid, but you roll that guy much, much nicer.
Yeah, for sure.
So somewhere between both putters is where we need to lie. The stroke was getting a little bit out to in.
Yeah.
So we were getting, now that's relative to the aim though. So we were aiming a little bit left and we're putting kind of fairly square to that. So I think really what it's going to come down to is we need a little bit of an alignment tuning. I think from a centeredness standpoint, this is so much better for you. We just got to get you aiming it.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. What was the previous putter you used before, or model, or kind of shape before your?
It was really similar to the Handsome one.
When was the last time you used a mallet?
Probably 5 years ago.
Okay. How strong were the alignment aids on it? Was it like large lines? Was it multiple lines?
Everything.
Everything. Yeah, it was fully loaded.
Yeah, I've tried multiple. I think when I switched over to the mallet from blade the first time, I really couldn't get comfortable. So I tried all different types of shapes and alignments, and I couldn't really find something that was my like aha moment.
Yeah.
Like, this is what works for me. And so I went back to the blade, and that is what helped me putt better.
Have you ever done eye dominance testing?
Yeah, so I've always struggled with my alignment, so this is not something that's new or shocking. With even my full swing, it's always been all over the place, and I'm right eye dominant. But still, it's just something that feels uncomfortable. And even when I am putting and I'll line it up, there are plenty of times where I just disregard the line completely and just do whatever feels comfortable to me.
You're not alone.
Everyone back home was like, oh, okay, it's adding up why she did not make it on tour.
So when it comes to alignment, I mean, obviously we've got when we stand over it with a certain length putter, we can back off, and then the hole automatically goes out that way. We can stand closer, and then the hole goes that way. So the length of the putter, the lie angle of the putter, we can really manipulate things in our favor. Again, I would probably be keen to experiment with you going a little bit on the longer side of things. So Sam wanted us to play a little bit more of an upright lie angle. Well, we can kind of kill two birds with one stone there, in that we can get you aiming a little bit more to the right by standing back a little bit, and also holding up the putter a little bit will make it sit a little bit more toe up. So it would be probably my recommendation. I'd love you to try something at 34.
Yeah.
At 70, not 71, but effectively it will play more upright. And actually would like you to keep the loft down. I know it wants us to keep the loft up, but I do think if we are releasing the putter a little bit more that way, I don't think you will lean the shaft as much. I think sometimes if you're over the putter a little bit and we kind of get the handle a little bit ahead, that can sometimes kind of compromise the readings of this scenario. So I think we need to build you some new irons today. I think we need to build you a new putter today. And then see how things go and retest somewhere down the line.
Sounds great.
Sound fun?
Yes.
Okay, guys, so I think when you see the process that we've just been through with Paige, you can see how individualized it is. It's truly to you. It's not some cookie cutter model that we're trying to make everyone putt the same way when we're coming in here. As a great player, I want to work with all of your sort of creativity, all your instincts, everything that makes you the player that you are on the greens. I don't want to take any of that away from you. I want to give you all of those superpowers and kind of allow you to kind of keep using them. I'm really, really excited to have you sort of try this.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think the Handsome one, it looks very familiar to me. I've always actually putt at a 34 length as well. So
okay, you have.
Yeah,
okay,
this
cool.
is my first kind of shorter putter. Again, just kind of been changing things up, and this is what I first started putting with, and it feels really comfortable to me. So it'd be nice to probably get back to that.
Get back home and sort of know something that's a little bit more familiar. I mean, these styles of putters, they tend to be, again, people that maybe a previous version of you was kind of who was really releasing them. You see the old school style of players who had those gorgeous, silky, smooth strokes. They used to putt like that a lot. And those types of putters, when you just get that toe kind of turning over, it's like effortless speed that you get out of the putter.
So you're saying that I don't
I'm
have a silky smooth,
you're not as silky. There's not effortless speeds.
Great.
No. We need to get you back to that. You once had it. You've made a departure. So we've got to get into something new. What were your thoughts on the dot?
I do like the dot. I've never had a dot before.
Okay. So I think having the dot from a
dot
centrist.
I didn't even know that was a dot.
Yeah, you've got the little dot up on there. Now I think you actually need both.
Yeah.
In a weird way.
Okay, a dot and a line.
Because the dot is your kind of like centeredness or contact guide, and then the line is your face alignment guide. So I don't know if there's many putters out there with both, but if I was going to say something that would work perfectly for you, it would have both.
Okay.
So it's a bit of a Frankenstein putter. Putter's basically what we're saying we need here for you.
But if anyone can do it, club champion can do it.
Exactly. And we're going to build some stuff for Paige. We are going to retest. We're going to sort of, come back to the studio. And I think, like everything else, we want to show the fruits of the labor of doing this type of process.
Yeah.
So we're going to kind of get to work now on our end and build you some new gear. Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay. Guys, really enjoyed our day with Paige here today. We are going to do a lot more content and sort of sharing content on both channels. So please, you'll see our content over on Paige's channel. You'll see her on our channel. An awful lot will be sort of cross-collaborating over the next several months and years. Really excited to do that with you, and thanks a lot for your time today.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Okay, guys, stay tuned for more. We'll see you again soon.